Hi,
Hi, Jerry.
how are you?
I'm good. How are you today?
Good. Miss Flick, thank you for coming. Do you mind if I call you Jana?
No, sure, go ahead.
So what
Sure.
brings you in, Jana?
I'm having some anxiety about work and about I didn't get a promotion at work, and it's really really bothering me.
So what's bothering you?
I've worked really hard to prove myself at work, and that there's a lot. I'm surrounded by mostly men, and I feel like it's very I feel like I'm being passed up for promotions and for things because it's so male dominated. It's causing me a lot of anxiety in my life.
Okay. And I hear what you're saying, that it's causing a lot of anxiety. Where do you think that anxiety is coming from as it pertains to the male-dominated side?
Wait, say that again. What do I think?
So your anxiety, it's because of the male-dominated portion, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think you have that anxiety?
I feel like, well, I think that like there's more, because there's so many, there's not many females in the office, and I feel like I've climbed the ranks, and there's been a promotion that I was just passed up for, because there was this new man that came in, and he's gay, and I don't understand that at all, like that doesn't make any sense to me. So then he gets along really well with my boss, and I feel like that they're passing me up for this because I'm not male, and then there's like this camaraderie of them. I mean, I'm not sure if maybe my boss might be gay. It's causing me this. I just get so angry about it that it seems so unfair.
Do you think that your anger comes from a different aspect, from a different point, in that it may not be the guy passing you up of being gay?
I think it's because I'm a female.
Okay. Elaborate on that for me.
I think because they think I'm a female and I'm not as I work in the oil and gas industry, and it's very male dominant, mostly male. But I've got my degree, and I worked real hard to get here, and I've done I've had other promotions, and I don't know exactly why. I just think it's because I don't go out and drink beer with them and do those camaraderie type things, But this new guy, he doesn't either. That's what I don't get. It's causing me just all these anxiety. This I feel like I almost feel like I'm trapped, like anxiety trapped.
Okay. Can you elaborate on the trapped portion?
I guess it makes me feel like trapped again in the sense of I'm like, this is because I'm a female, this is my little world. And so they have their world, and they can't see past their world, and so that's what makes me feel trapped. Like I'm because I'm female, I can't get into their world.
And I hear you, Jana. One of the things that I keep hearing you say, because I'm a female, and that's great that you're owning that. Do you think that there are some underlying issues there? Have you, when did you actually get your degree?
I moved here about 25 years ago, and I got my degree, and I moved when in my early 20s.
Okay.
And so I've had plenty of experience. I've been here long. I've worked my way up through the ranks in corporate America throughout the years. So I've had my degree for some time now.
Is this the first job that you've applied for where you've been actually literally been in a battle, so to speak, with someone else?
This would be the first position. It's not my first job, because I've been with this company for some time now. But as far as a position, this is the first time I've had this problem with coming up in the promotions and being passed over for them.
So let me ask you this. What do you think are some ways that you could overcome that being passed over?
I'm not sure. That's why I'm here. Like all the anxiety is causing me because I've never really had these problems before. I've always been able to get my foot in the door, and I've always been able to, to kind of prove myself. But for some reason, there's this. I don't know. This man, he's. I mean, I hate to say it, but he's just as feminine as I am. But he's a guy,
Right.
and he's gay, and so I guess it doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't understand that whole thing. It doesn't
Right.
make sense to me.
And that's normal for a person to not understand the whole gay thing. Even though society has come so far in understanding it, we're still not quite there yet. Do you think that you will ever get to that point of understanding it?
I don't know. This is my first really encounter with it. I don't have any gay friends, and I've never really been around any gay people, so I just don't understand. It doesn't make sense to me. How can you be gay? Like, I don't understand it. And he's so feminine, and he talks about shoes as much as I do, but yet he's more qualified for the job. It makes no sense to me.
Right. And I want to go back to the original portion of this guy being put in this position over you. And one of the things that you stated earlier was the boss, so to speak, you thought that he might be gay.
I didn't at first until this other gentleman came along, and they're so close, and they spend so much time, and the things they discuss are so different compared to some of the other men in the office, what they discuss. And
Like what?
They seem so feminine. So they talk about shoes and clothes, and the other guys talk about golfing and hunting and going out on the weekends, and that's not what these two talk about. And it seems strange to me. And every time I've tried to maybe come into the conversation or give my input on something, I'm just kind of shunned now, and I'm like, it seems so strange to me. It makes no sense.
Okay. And one of the things that I want to touch on is what you stated about you haven't experienced a whole lot of the gay society. How would you be open to being out in the gay society to learn more about it?
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know anything about people being gay. It doesn't seem like right to me.
And one of the things that I also want to touch on is you came from Montana, which, how big was your town that you grew up in?
There was probably about 21,000 people, but it's
So rather small.
Very small, very rural, very dominated by a very specifically the white race.
Right.
Very much so. We're not very diversified, not very.
Right. No, that's normal.
Yeah. That's normal.
Especially in a small town.
Yeah, small town. There was just 2 high schools, and our graduating classes were very small. We knew pretty much everybody we went to school with.
Right. So now that you're in the big city
Right.
of Houston, do you think that there would be a way for you to integrate yourself to get to know someone in the gay community? And you don't have to start off with a whole big group. But let's say, this guy that passed you over.
I guess, but I could try. He's not very nice.
Oh, he's not?
No, not really.
Well, and he's not the only one, of course.
Right.
There are others out there.
I'm sure there's other.
Right. And one of the things that I would encourage you, Jana, is to not necessarily immerse yourself in the gay community, but when you do find someone who identifies as gay, take that opportunity to get to know them, and you may find out that they're probably similar. You may have similar interests,
Yeah,
and they may end up being your best friend.
I've never. He's pretty much the first gay person I've met since I've been here.
Yeah, and there's, like I said, there are opportunities to where, you could meet more gay men. You know, you may even encounter a lesbian woman.
Oh, wow.
You know, yeah, they're out there. It's not uncommon.
No, I'm sure it's not.
You know, there are some, yeah, it's not uncommon. It's one of those things that I encourage you, Jana, as you go through this, and please don't give up on trying to move up further in the corporate ladder, or move up on the corporate ladder. You know, I would encourage you to expand yourself as a woman in corporate America. You know, because one of the things that could happen if you, let's say if you got this job, this particular position, which is a supervisory position, you know, it takes being a person in a supervisory role to pretty much be on the same level, so to speak.
Right, I guess I would have to be a little bit more open-minded as to if I'm going to be a supervisor, that I'm going to have a lot of diverse people underneath me. I guess I would probably need, but right now it's just causing me so much anxiety.
I
just need to
understand.
get past that anxiety part, I guess. And maybe,
And I understand, and that's going to take, it's going to take some practice, you know. Maybe one thing that, you know, to overcome that anxiety is, do you meditate?
no, I don't.
So meditation is a good way to get yourself centered,
Okay.
you know, to find out more about Jana.
I've heard a lot about it called mindfulness.
Good,
I've
good.
heard about it, I just haven't done anything. Maybe I'll try that. Maybe that'll help.
I would encourage you to, because it's, in some of the stories that I've looked at, a lot of people have gained a lot from it.
I've, like I said, I've heard about it, so maybe I'll try that. Maybe that'll help me a little bit with my anxiety. So I just get really anxious when they're both around.
And one of the things that I liked your solution on is, you know, if you got this position, if another one were to come about, you wanted to be more open-minded, right?
Yes, I guess I would have to be. I wouldn't be a very good leader, I don't think, if I wasn't more open-minded. And I guess maybe that's part of the reason I got passed up for the position. Maybe I'm not ready for it yet.
Very good point.
I
Very
never got
good
to
point.
think about that maybe I'm not ready yet because I haven't been around a diverse set of people yet.
And that's one of the things that America, well, even corporate America, is looking at someone who is diverse. You know, of being around certain races, you know, being around certain cultures such as gay, you know, being around someone who is from a different economic
Right. I
or
was just
even a social class.
being around so many men that are so manly, and
Right.
he came in and he's so different than the rest of the other men, and there's so few women, and we're kind of manly too, I guess. But, so,
Do you think that he was less qualified than you?
he hasn't been at the company as long as I have, but I don't know.
So that's where,
Yes.
okay, that makes a lot of sense.
Yes, he's much newer to the company. I've been at the company for 10 years. He's only been at the company for like 2, and so.
Right.
But I don't know his background. I can't say whether he was whether he was less qualified or not, because I have not seen his resume.
Right.
So.
And that makes, I'm glad you stated that, because he's fresh in the company,
Right, and I'm
and
not.
you've been there for a while,
Right.
and you got passed over for this position from this guy. That makes sense, where a lot of your anxiety is coming from.
Yeah, it's very frustrating.
Maybe on some level, it's not the fact that he's gay, it's just the fact that you were,
Maybe
you know.
I'm not prepared.
Right.
Maybe.
So, you know, maybe they looked at it and said, oh, you know, Jana, you just don't have what it takes yet.
Right.
You know,
Guess I'll have to go back to my drawing board.
and that's a good thing, you know. Maybe even look at reinventing yourself on a certain level, you know, which isn't a bad thing.
I guess we'll have to try that in session 2.
And you know, you're right. That's one of those things that we can work on later. You know, you've brought up some very good points, Jana. The thing of being open-minded, because that's crucial. You know, in a male-dominated society, especially in corporate America, but also trying to move up in the ranks. You know, you want to be in a supervisory role. It's important to be open-minded.
Yes.
You know.
I guess I need to have to work on that. And maybe the mindfulness of doing meditation will help the anxiety. I'm sure that, you know, they can probably feel my anxiety too when they come into work, and I feel theirs, and maybe learning how to meditate will help me not feel so anxious, and be able to deal a little bit better with things I'm unfamiliar with.
And also, you know, integrating yourself, you know,
And maybe trying something new, maybe I'll go make a gay friend.
maybe, you know, you might find something, you may find that you guys have a lot in common.
Never know.
You know, they could end up being your best friend. For all you know, there's so many options out there. And holding that in, you know, holding that negativity towards them is not good
No.
for you or for them.
I guess I'll have to work on these things.
And you will, and it's not going to happen overnight.
No, we'll have to do that in session 2.
Maybe session 3, who knows?
Or 4, if we get that far.
Who knows? Janet, thank you so much for coming in today. I appreciate it. You know, I look forward to seeing you again.
Thanks, Jerry. I think you really helped. I think I'll take these things out, and then when I'll try some of these things out and want to come back in the next time, I'll let you know how they go.
All right, perfect. Thank you so much. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. It was nice to meet you.